You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. AssholeConsulting.com. Questions, answers. We have a sad request. I'm going to try and be even-handed here. And by even-handed, I mean empirical. Young man writes, hello, Mr. Clary. I'm seeking your perspective on some sentiments I've developed recently concerning dating, and I'm hoping for either your affirmative vindication or a swift boot in the ass in terms of a correction. I'm a working class man, 6'1", 175 pounds, and 21 years of age. You're already so jaded at 21. It's bad. I've taken various IQ tests over the years, mostly placing me between 130 and 165. I've been working for years and I'm beginning to pursue a bodybuilding routine. I wasted my college fund on music school. But before you start reading, I know that I thankfully came out of it debt-free. Oh, well, you just wasted all that time then. Thank God there wasn't a real cause. Haven't only lost that time. Guys, it's not just the money, it's your time. You could build a house in 4 years' labor. All right, that's not why you're here. I reside in a townhouse about 45 minutes from my hometown, paying $700 a month. That's not bad. And despite currently working full-time as a low-level rank employee, I would consider my art, primarily music and literature, as my life's work. The dream, besides the obvious goal of performing regularly, would be to take commissions as a composer for films, commercials. Oh, you're so cute. I just want to fit your 6'1" facial cheek. Don't look at hey, everybody, look at the Gen Zer and think he's going to live his dreams. Oh, God, it's cute. My life's work, dream besides film commercials, as well as having a music retail business on the side. Why would you do that? Don't worry, you won't get there. I won't have to worry about, hey, I got my life savings. Should I buy a building and sell music? I won't have to worry about that happening. All of which will be easier to do when I move from my rural area to a large metro area on the 29th of October this year. For you to adequately understand my perspective, I have to provide my history with women. I lost my virginity at 18 to 42-year-old campus cougar who was pretty smoking, but ghosted me immediately after the fact. Next line was another campus cougar who was a bit younger, but waited until we'd been screwing for a couple weeks before she deigned to inform me that she was married with kids and that she made a mistake, after which she obviously ghosted me. You must be a pretty good-looking dude. Next was a chick who was only a couple years older than me. We committed to each other for a year, most of which I lived with her in a 2-person dorm. And though I thought she was a traditional woman, she eventually revealed herself as way more intelligent / Machiavellian than she let on. And as being one of those spoiled trust fund women who you never date the trust funders, you find a good working gal, guys, who always plays dumb in order to play the victim. After quitting school, leaving behind an opportunity to earn a living, performing gigs on cruise ships so I could start a life with her. One night, without warning, she called the cops to force me outside so she could pack her shit and grab a cab to the airport without even looking me in the eyes. That's the last I saw of her. Though word, she's in Australia now. Hey, Adriano, get on that. That was a year and a half ago, and since then, I've added a couple more notches to the old belt, but mostly just been dealing with women at the workplace who only care about me insofar as they can monopolize the attention from the other girls. Oh, don't tell you, you go to work to get your money, and then you go home. Now that all of that shit is out of the way, we could cut to the core of the matter. All of these experiences culminated in the sentiment that I want your counsel on and that everyone suddenly wants to talk me out of. I don't want a girlfriend. Here is the, and now you've gone through many more thoughts, and it's a long request, but this young man put a lot of thought and effort. It reads very well, but I'm going to give you the answer now so you can understand how simple this is. Then don't get one. Screw what everybody else says. If you don't want a girlfriend, don't get one. All right. And the reason is not only a point I'm trying to make about self-respect, that you have the right to do what you want, but if you don't want a girlfriend, well, and you then are forced or cajoled or strong-armed into getting one, how good of a boyfriend could you possibly be? That'd be intellectually dishonest, or just in general dishonest to your theoretical would-be girlfriend. If you don't want a girlfriend, you are not ready to have one. You absolutely should not get one. I don't want a dog, but my friends are going to force me to get one. I don't want a kid, but my friends are going to force me to get one. Wrong for you, wrong for the dog, wrong for the kid. All right. So forget the talking out of. If it was me, even at the age of 21, I'd get pissed and say, listen, what did I just say? And you got to do this with people because people don't really think that you exist. It's only them. And they want the answers to come out of the robot that they think you are. Well, the NPC didn't give me the answer I wanted to hear. Try again. And that makes me go from 0 to rage. So much so, I say I don't answer the same question twice. Usually it's women who do it. And that ends it very quickly. But you have every right to do that. I'm sorry. I could have swore I made an effing decision. And then and then it'll go away. So now you go on to further analysis. I just want to get that concept down. Self-respect. And if you're not ready, then you're not ready. And you're not going to be of any use to a girlfriend either. I enjoy casual fun, and I have some great female friends, but I'm done committing to women. I've tactfully explained this casual conversation at work in public. How is that happening at work? Unless they're asking you out, you don't bring that up at work. You shouldn't be talking about that at work. In public, okay, that happens in friends, in public situations. And some people, women in particular, often say things like, a new woman might do you some good. Do not listen to women. I know you're 21, but that's a rule. You do not listen to women about dating women because most women haven't dated women. If you want to know about dating women, you talk to a man who is successful with women or has been successful with women. My response is along these lines. If I wanted to strip myself of everything that makes me unique to serve as the desired carbon copy of someone who sees me as a fixture in their life as opposed to a human being with his own consciousness, feelings, goals, and ambitions, then I get a girlfriend. All right. See, now you've insulted them. Not to say that you should be walking around on eggshells and not insulting people, but now you're on your soapbox. And there's no benefit to forcing red pills, not down women's throats because they're never going to swallow them. But you've rocked, especially at work. You don't say that stuff at work. You don't talk about things are going well. It's too late now. You've already displayed this. But going forward, your personal dating life should have no audience at work. And then with your friends, with great female friends, if you could say, hey, you know what? Every girl I've dated views me as an NPC or an object, as a pawn in their life. The word you're looking for is solipsistic, meaning only the person themselves exists, nobody else does. And that's maybe a word that you can use, a 50-cent word that'll make people wonder. Say, I found most girls solipsistic. And they just really they're in their own world. I understand they're young. They're focused on their career and, the media just tells them to worship themselves. But yeah, I'm looking for a girl that recognizes I'm alive. But this sounds like a strike back, and they'll be a little offended, but when aren't they? So I'm just saying, tone it down a bit. You don't even mention it at work going forward. If I wanted to perpetually drain my bank account to the acquisition of decadent status possessions that serve no practical purpose beyond capturing and maintaining the attention of people I typically despise in the first place, then I get a girlfriend. It's not jaded because you went through hell, but just got it up to 15. We need to turn down to about 4 right now. Here's the other thing. I know subconsciously what you're trying to hope to do is through these individual conversations, maybe women will realize that some of them on their team, maybe not them themselves, are doing the team woman a lot of disrespectful harm, a lot of bad PR going out there. And you think, well, then they'd talk and then they'd realize that men also exist. They might have feelings and emotions and investment and opportunity costs. No, it's not. No. Talk to Chad's dad, not Chad's dad, Chad's mom. But Chad, it's hard for women to lose weight. Women will choose team woman 98% of the time. Even your own mom is going to choose team woman. And there's a whole video I did, some about why women choose team women or something like that. I don't know where it is. All right. So you are yelling at the moon. You're pissing into a hurricane. You're banging your head against the wall. You're completely right. Especially based on your empirical experience. It doesn't do you any good to go on tirades like this at all. If I wanted to bash my head against the wall, endlessly trying to please someone who could never be pleased, leaving my own life by the wayside to play emotional babysitter to someone who sits around all day dwelling on stupid shit instead of taking care of their own well-being and carving out a future for themselves, then I get a girlfriend. It's funny because it's true. As I'm sure you could guess, these kind of assertions have not been very well received. Nope. Yeah. Especially by women. For some chicks, it's enough to have them literally shaking. Well, you hit them right at the core, and you probably scared them a little bit. Not to mention you're a big guy. You know, if you're 6'1", you physically would intimidate them. But I couldn't care less about that. What concerns me is the fact that older, wiser men, including my father, are telling me that there's a certain point where a man is willing to make such sacrifices for the sake of having children. Yeah, that there is. And half of them end up in divorce. And based on my book, the Book of Numbers, when you look at happiness studies, like 14% of marriages end up being happy. I don't know why you men would, I don't know why you would get married. I could see why older, I wouldn't call them wiser. They're not wiser. To quote Rollo Tomasi, they're old order thinking. Oh, back in the 60s, you took the girl to the sock cop, and then you asked her dad for permission to court the young lady, and after 2 months, you gave her your sports sweater. I lettered in wrestling. All right, and even those guys, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, I can't believe boomer men of all people. It's like, whoa, didn't you guys take like the most severe beating of all divorces in all the world? Well, you gotta find that girl there, son. So they're not wiser. They are older, and it can be your father. And there's a point where such sacrifices, which means you giving up on your life, not to mention suffering a mental hell for the sake of merely breeding, they are right empirically. Based on men, most men will get married, and most men will take that risk, and most men will suffer and endure for their children. There's different ways. You adopt. I mean, if you really want children, you get a surrogate to carry your child. There's risks involved with that. You don't marry. You just don't marry. And if you guys would like to be a little bit happier and, you know, the dream, what I'd like to see or hear, like the captain in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, when the bridge blows up and he passes away before he goes off to the great eternal, I'd like to see it where you guys, like, marriage just doesn't happen. Because we're like, no. Where you wake up and you use this brain to override that brain, and you just like, no, well, and it's happening to a certain extent. It is. Men are tapping out and cohabitation. But at least where it's common knowledge, like, oh yeah, you know, like the dream might, along with the bridge blowing up and me making men realize that marriage is just it's a non-starter, is that every man and woman realizes the liberal arts and the social sciences are a horrifically bad degree to get. That they wake up, you know, I can dream. But it's not going to change the biology, and your dad is factually right. Most men will give that up. You don't have to be most men. And I don't know about you. I don't want to be most men either, because most men's lives suck. Very bad. Not that women are happy and joyful either. Most people's lives suck. And then when you have normie conformies and inferiors giving you the same sucky advice that they followed, gee, I wonder what's going to happen. To give you another example, we have a fair amount of minority men. Occasionally a minority woman comes in here, and they seek advice to escape poverty. And they'll come up to me and say, I read your book or something, and I want to do this, but my family says I'm dumb. I'm like, is your family rich? No. Are they successful? No. Are your parents even married? No, I don't know where my dad is. Why would you take effing advice from them? That's not that I'm like super wealthy, you know, but I'm not getting divorced. I'm not getting married. I don't have debts because I didn't buy fancy crap I didn't need. And so it's the same thing. Do you want to be miserable like your dad and everyone else? Well, then follow the time-tested advice and wisdom. Ugh. If you want to have a better life, and you're not there yet. There's nothing wrong with you not wanting to have a girlfriend. Well, I can say that some part of me will remain latent for decades, resonates while I can say that some part of me that will remain latent for decades resonates with these ideas. Well, every guy wanted to have a kid at one time. Not me, maybe when I was 3. I don't know. Then it was beaten out of me by 4. I really didn't want to have it. I was like, no, this kid thing is not, childhood is not fun. I don't want them. So there's but genetically there'll be every guy mostly wants to have kids. At this point, I live for conquering chaos and the insurance of my legacy that through decades of hard work and hopefully a few strokes of hope. Ooh, so hopefully the economy turns around. Has a small chance to send me in the history books as a great man to be remembered. Oh, there's another mistake. You're so arrogant. You are so vain. You want to be remembered, you fool. Why should anyone remember you? You're not successful. Let's look at let's be, honest. You're functionally a loser right now. Now, every young 20-something guy's a loser. All right. But you have a worthless degree. You have a joke of a job, although it pays the bills. And you have a dream that frankly is stupid. And you sound like the guy who doesn't want to really put forth the hard work and effort. I don't hear any mention of, well, I'm going to switch my degree to engineering or go join the military or something, industrious or productive. And I understand, okay, you're not ready for girls and you've had some, what would be considered traumatic, I guess, or quasi-traumatic event, or just certainly bad stuff happened to you. I can see why you're going on a hiatus from the ladies. All right. But get rid of this attitude, dude, that you're going to make the history books. No. How about you shut up and you support yourself? You get a pretty good job. If you got extra time, then pursue your music dreams and aspirations. Right. But right now, if you're going to get rid of the pursuit of women, which is the most time-consuming, costly endeavor of men, you will have plenty of time and resources to get yourself a real career and a real profession, which is going to actually increase your chances of having a successful music career because you won't be going from gig to gig to gig, couch surfing at the age of 40, bumming a couple $100 off of people because you can't afford the bus fare. All right. And if you want more, Matt Baldoni will gladly charge you a very handsome fee how to make money as a musician. But it doesn't start with, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to go down in this. Shut the fuck up. Such as Beethoven's or Miles Davis. I hope you're that good of a musician. I hope so. But the food still has to get paid. Or it could be bought. The rent still has to be paid. Food still has to be bought. Putting dinner on your families. Hey, you want a joke? What do you call a jazz musician without a girlfriend? Homeless, huh? Get it? Because that's who you'll be. Wait, if you're not going to have a girlfriend, where are you going to live? Holy shit. Oh, I'm so funny. Oh, okay. I can't believe you're so bad. What? Okay, oh yeah, follow your heart, money. Okay, go try. Okay, or not be poor. There's my options. Follow your heart, money will follow. Be poor, or get a fucking job, get a real career, and don't be poor. And then maybe still have a good shot at becoming a musician. As far as I'm concerned, those sorts of ambitions are the closest we can get to an objective meaning of life. That and living the life of a musician isn't very conducive to a traditional family oriented in the first place. In fact, it actually caters to casual interactions with these chicks. Yeah. Oh no, you'll get plenty of girls. You just won't be able to support a family. As much as I appreciate the idea of waking up every day next to a bodacious babe with the same taste and sense of humor as mine, I can't help at this point but to see commitment to a woman, the responsibility therein, a hindrance at best, and an outright threat at worst. Yes, you're... Get this book, kid. You're not wrong. And keep in mind, be a little bit forgiving of the women because they're not trained to even consider you. All right? They're not trained to be selfless or altruistic or caring or loving, supporting wives. They're trained to go out and not need you. They're even told not to need you. They don't need you. Fish, bicycle, trademark. Some of them are even conditioned to view you as an oppressor or the competition. And they have nearly all of them especially at your age, are conditioned to put their career, themselves, their politics, and their life at the center of their life, way above men, let alone you. And so it's certainly fun to date, but they're in no condition. Don't Don't get upset that since the age of 5, they were told they don't need men. You're the adversary. You're out to oppress them. And then they act like it. I really, it's hard not to take it personal, especially when a girl just like calls the cops on her. And I understand that you should be very angry at that person. But I'm not trying to forgive this behavior either. I'm just trying to explain it so you can understand it. This is where it's coming from. Is it malicious? Yeah, at some level it is. But you really want to get pissed off? You go hunt down some boomer teachers and professors. You go hunt them down. They're the ones that programmed this horrific, essentially misandrist operating system in a lot of these young women's minds today. Through the weakness of my evolutionary desire for domestic comfort and companionship, I could be relegated to the same defeated, monotone, comfort-obsessed life as virtually everyone else. Whereas even if I ultimately fail in my ambitions, at least I can say that I tried my utmost and die with the comfort of that notion. I like your take on all this bullshit. Stay stunning and brave. Haha. Yeah, man. One, absolutely take a break from women. 2, read this book. All right. So you understand why it's happening, so you're no longer angry. I can't solve the problem. I can't Thanos snap a bunch of June Cleavers into existence. I can take the anger and frustration and confusion away. Now you'd be like, oh, that's why. Doesn't solve the problem, but now you know why. And with knowing why comes sanity and peace, which, for $12.95 or $16.95, whatever that book is, I think that's a pretty good deal. Sanity and peace. Love and peace, huh? Love and peace. See if for the real nerds get that one. Your dreams are delusional. You are lazy because of the job you're working and because you majored in music and you still keep going for the music. You are trying to avoid real work. And there's a little bit of wandering in the desert there. And along the lines that girls were told that their career and their degrees and their politics and themselves were more important than the love of others and children and husband and family and all that. You were probably also lied that follow your heart and the money will follow. And if you really try, you can make it. Your best shot at becoming a musician is to grow the F up, grow a pair of balls, become a man, learn a skill that is in demand and pays. And that is how you're going to help out and contribute to society and sustain yourself. That will also increase the finances in your financial situation that you can then afford to moonlight as a jazz musician at night. And without having to pursue girls, you should have plenty of extra time to become a very forged and accomplished man in many regards. And then you'll find out if you got the chops to actually be whatever saxophone player, saxophone player, piano player, jazz, whatever you want. And if you can pull that off, great. But get your head right. Get your head out of this delusion. I'm going to try my... No, you're not. You're just not. You'll try, but don't you dare bank your entire life off of it. All right? You're not the education teacher girl who at 17 is, I'm going to major in education and change lives and help children. All you do is babysit kids for 35 years and bitch and whine about how you don't make enough money as a teacher. Okay. And then meanwhile, you teach children to hate education and reading because you're a horrible person. Not you're a horrible, but most teachers are horrible people. All right. There we go. With the super chats. 301. Okay. So I don't think I missed anyone. Joe Jones, $5. What's this bull crap I'm hearing about? First, it was alcohol poisoning fish, then gouging dog eyes out. Now this. Guess I'll buy it, Jim. Look. Where was the alcohol poison? Wait, how I mercifully wanted. Thank you for reminding me about that, Joe. In my defense, I got to get going here, guys. This is going to be quick. But I wanted to fish, but I didn't want to fillet fish because they're still alive a lot of the time. And I looked up a humane way to euthanize fish. And there was saying you take a bottle of vodka, you pour in the 5-gallon bucket, you basically knock them out, and then you fillet them. And there's a very humane way to kill fish. And I haven't I should have just done Save Barent the rabbit. I should have just done that. Nonstop trade $2, but they say, who hurt you and where are the good men? I'm just booming through these guys because I got to go in 6 minutes. Atham. Oh my, Atham, you dropped some money that you even wrote a message. What's wrong, man? For the Cappy bailout fund, don't worry, we got you. Thank you. The Cappy bailout fund. Nonstop trade $2. Cappy's now got a true Now a true banker getting a bailout. Thank you. Okay, just keep it on. Keep on going, man. Keep on going. Book sales are up. I feel good. People willingly and voluntarily bought my books and my services. You're not going to make me sleep bad at night. Gigi Nomad, $2 Canadian. So there's a chance. Best wingman ever. Hashtag bailout. Mexi Mike, $5. It's safe to say younger millennial and Gen Z men ain't going to marry anywhere near X or boomer numbers. I think so too. And not because they're afraid of girls or anything with the battle of the sex. I think these guys' finances are so screwed, and they got so screwed in being lied to about their education, and they have no skills and no money and lots of debt. They are in no financial You're going to still have your trash and your baby daddies impregnate all the trailer trash and the trailer park. You're going to have that. But generally speaking, no, there's not going to be a lot. Good news for everyone. Divorces will be nearly non-existent. Yeah, I thought marriage was tanking, and it's going to drop like a rock. I can't wait to see the next 5 years. Chris is Black, $2 for the bailout. Thank you for the bail. I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm just going to accept. Atham, $2. We won't let Cappy sing Cappy stimulus package. Get your fucking package right here, Atham. Nonstop trade, $2. ACF Atham's college fund for his chemical engineer. Look, if I had billions of dollars, it would have been taken care of. I don't have billions of dollars, but maybe I'll have $789 billion in bailout funds. Should I dress like the Monopoly guy with the top hat and the monocle? Should I do that next time? Ian, $5 Canadian, 24. Quit my stupid economics degree to become a carpenter. 1 year away from journeyman. Is going back to school for a STEM degree worth it with a trade? I don't think so. I mean, you don't have to. Why don't you go be a carpenter for a while? Relax, man. You're 24. How much more do you want to go to school? I mean, I hated school. Why don't you guys want to leave school? But you'll be in school till you were 30. Screw that. That it? I think that's it. We're all caught up. All right. See you kids later. Cappy got to go run. Toodles.